So, what if a religion wasn't really about gods or an afterlife? What if instead it was a practical guide for building a better, kinder world, right here and right now? Well, that's the big idea at the heart of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's final masterpiece, The Buddha and His Dhamma. Today, we're going to dive into his incredible retelling of the Buddhist message, but for a modern scientific world. Okay, let's just start with this really powerful statement. Think about it. Ambedkar spent 35 years studying all the world's religions, and this is the conclusion he came to. So why? Well, he believed that the Buddha's original teachings weren't a system that asked for blind faith. It didn't ask you to believe in the supernatural. Instead, it gave you tools to understand reality for yourself. So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to follow Ambedkar's own search, uncover what he saw as the Buddha's true message, see what old ideas it totally rejected, understand its new path, and finally, learn how we can help build what he called the kingdom of righteousness. To really get the answer that Ambedkar found, we first have to understand the huge question that drove him his entire life. You know, Ambedkar's journey, kind of like a lot of ours, it started with questions when he was a kid. He saw things in his own family's religious life that just didn't add up. And he would read these stories about famous heroes that seemed, well, honestly, unjust. This courage to question everything led him to face the biggest problem in his society. So here's the absolute heart of the problem. Ambedkar saw a society that was built on what he called graded inequality. The caste system wasn't just about people being in different groups. It was like a ladder where every single step down meant you had fewer rights than the person above you. And he saw that the main religions seemed to support this injustice. So he set out to find a spiritual path that could actually fix it. His long search eventually led him to the Buddha. But what he discovered was pretty radical. What the Buddha taught wasn't a religion in the way we usually think about it. It was something else entirely. It was a Dhamma. And this right here is the key difference. On one hand, you have religion, which, often focuses on a god, on souls, and getting ready for an afterlife. But Dhamma, as Ambedkar explains it, is all about righteousness. It's a practical guide for how to live a good life, using your brain and your reason to end suffering for everyone right here on Earth. So the whole purpose just gets flipped on its head. The goal isn't to escape this world to get to some heaven. No, the goal is to transform this world into a place of justice and compassion, to build what Ambedkar called a kingdom of righteousness for all of us. And that is a completely different mission. Now, to build this new kingdom, some old ideas had to be cleared away. Ambedkar really emphasizes that the Buddhist path was so revolutionary because of what it said no to. Just think about how wild this was at the time. The established view was these scriptures can't be questioned, some people are just born better than others, and doing rituals will save you. But the Buddha, as Ambedkar presents him, just flips all of that. He says, question everything, all people are equal, and real change, it comes from your own mind and your own actions, not from some ceremony. So the Buddha really cleared the deck of a lot of old ideas. He said no to a creator god, no to a permanent soul, and a big no to the idea that sacrifices could fix anything. He rejected the whole notion that your life is already decided for you and that any one book has all the answers. By clearing all that stuff away, he made space for a new path, one that's based on your own responsibility and your own thinking. Okay, so if the old ideas are out, what's the new path? Ambedkar shows how the Buddha totally redefined the goal of a spiritual life, making it something practical and psychological. Let's take nirvana, or nirvana. A lot of people think it means you just disappear or go to some heaven after you die. But Ambedkar explains it as something you can achieve right now in this life. It's the outblowing, like blowing out a candle, of the fires of greed, anger, and delusion that cause us so much stress and suffering. Really, it's about gaining control over your own mind. And he did the same thing for karma, or karma. He taught that it isn't some cosmic scoreboard keeping track of your past lives. It's actually much simpler. Much more about cause and effect in society. Kind actions help build a better, more harmonious world. Unkind actions tear it down and create misery for everybody. It's not just about your individual fate, it's about our shared responsibility to each other. So, how do you actually walk this path of Dhamma? It's got 3 parts that all support each other. It starts with prajna, which is wisdom, just seeing the world clearly, as it really is. That clarity then leads you to sila, which is morality, acting with kindness. But to do both of those things well, you need samadhi, a calm, focused mind. It's like a complete training program for becoming a better, wiser human being. Okay, this is all fascinating stuff, but here's the most important part. What does it all mean for us? How can we actually use these ideas in our own lives, like right now? So let's make this super practical. The path asks us to start doing a few things. Start questioning things, start acting with kindness to everyone, and start taking responsibility for our actions. And at the same time, it asks us to stop doing some things. Stop blindly following rules, stop judging people, and stop blaming fate. And look, you don't have to do it all at once. Just pick one small habit. Maybe today, you just ask why about one single belief you hold. That's it. That's a step on the path.
So if you only remember a few things, let them be these. A good path can and should make sense to a scientific mind. Real freedom, it doesn't come from anywhere else. It comes from training your own mind. The whole point of this life is to reduce suffering, not just for you, but for everyone. And maybe most important of all, you have the power to change yourself, and by doing that, to change the world.
To sum it all up, Dr. Ambedkar's work gives us this amazing picture of the Buddha, not as some god to be worshipped, but as a brilliant human teacher who offered a practical, logical path, a path to end our own inner battles, and by doing so to build a fair, kind, and rational world for all of us. And that brings us to our final question for you to think about. This kingdom of righteousness isn't some far-off dream. It's built by us, right here, one small, kind, and thoughtful action at a time. So what's one thing, just one thing, you can do this week in your own world to help build it?